Groucho Marx said, I never want to join a group that would have me, and I feel like many of us are in that space. So, in this Sunday Coffee, I want to talk about how diet culture impacts our desire to join groups or be part of a community. When we think about it, when you join or participate in a diet, do you feel support or do you kind of feel criticized, vulnerable, open to feedback that you may not actually want? I know that most of my clients, when they see me, are really, really concerned that I'm going to criticize them. Actually, they're anticipating it. And when I explain to people I am a terrible drill sergeant and a very good cheerleader, they get confused. But I need a drill sergeant. I need someone to be accountable to. And this is my pushback. I ask, do you need somebody to be accountable to, or do you need more support? And when I ask that question, most of my clients go, was support an option? And I go, yeah, actually it is. It's an option. Support is an option. And so what we're doing is, instead of feeling like we always have to, have the diet tell us what to do, this is the oppressive system, we're actually trying to build support. We're trying to support ourselves in the change process. And I like that kind of kinesthetic uh, little tool, because a lot of times we think that this is support. But having somebody tell you all the time, yeah, you're not doing it right, that is actually not pulling on my agency, that I'm a bright and able person. It's not pulling on your agency either. And it's really not supporting our autonomy, helping us see choice. So, really, when we talk about groups and community, it's hard because we're used to being criticized. Groups support us, and they also hold the mirror. They hold the mirror to help us see where change is possible. Many, many people will overpromise in a group. I'm never going to do this again, or I always do that. And that's part of the journey, is to hear people say things that you go, I don't know that I could do that. Or, I so want to do that. That's such a great idea. Community is interesting. A lot of us don't want to join. It's inconvenient. Oh my gosh, I've got to, save time to participate in this group. Yeah, it is inconvenient. And so is life. Life does not go the way you want. Life is, in fact, very inconvenient. There's always these things coming up that are stopping you from doing what you planned on doing. That's life. And community is having us reconnect with life, not the imagined trajectory of our life. I just came back from a 4-day workshop, kind of like a retreat, and I can definitely understand the inconvenience of community, of showing up, of participating, of talking, of staying silent, of really reflecting, checking in and saying, could I do that? Is that relevant for me? Does that fit into my life? Community actually gives us a lot of friction by which change can happen. No Weight Loss Required is a community. And I'm hoping that this conversation about community is sparking your interest about how could I participate more in this community? I'm actually changing how I do things just to facilitate community, because I recognize now that we're just a little bit shy of about 50 people in our community. And in that group, some of us are participating, some of us are more quiet. And I really want to get us to start talking to each other, to start learning from each other. So I wrote down some notes and I'm going to read them because, well, I haven't had much coffee today and I need notes. So in August, we spent a lot of time talking about GLP-1s. And for those of you who may not know, there is the GLP-1 guide. And this guide is available. It's part of your paid subscription, but it's also available for purchase if you wanted to purchase it for some reason. And I'll include the link below. Now, another part of this community is understanding the roadmap. And actually in September, we're going to be taking a deeper dive into the roadmap and really trying to understand those 4 parts. So I'll also include a link to the roadmap just to kind of help you understand. But to go through it quickly, the first step is recognizing that diet culture is all about subtraction. It's taking things away. It's not actually adding things. And if we want to step out of diet culture to manage or prevent diabetes, we want to add things to our diet. The number one thing clients say they need to add are things like protein. And I will agree, protein is essential, and most of us aren't getting enough. I don't think I got enough protein in my diet yesterday. I was on the road. I was traveling back from New York City after helping my daughter move into an apartment. So we need to add to our diet. For myself, and only for myself, I definitely need to add fruit and fiber to my diet. And these are things that are, they're there, but they take effort to make. For instance, I often buy fruit but forget to eat it. Oops. And I write little notes and stick them in the refrigerator to remind myself, eat the fruit, eat the fruit. So when we think about adding to our diet, we're adding things like fiber or protein, or we're adding variety. We're adding pleasure, food sparkle. I love that one. We may be adding balance. We may be adding time. We may be adding joy, community, friends, laughter, but we're adding to our diet. We're not taking away. Diet culture is all about subtraction, so the first step of the roadmap is adding. Now, the second step is really trying to turn around and say, what is it like to eat without counting calories? What is it like to eat without thinking, will this help me lose weight? What is it like to just nourish my body? What happens if my focus is on eating a balanced diet and nourishing my body? That's step number 2. Step number 3 is asking a very important question and understanding a fundamental change. People are not broken. They're hurt. You are not broken. You're hurt. And people are not fixed. They're healed. You are not trying to fix yourself. You're trying to heal. You're trying to heal from the damage of dieting, of weight stigma. That's what we're trying to heal from. The last step, and probably, the final one, is really understanding what I mentioned earlier, that dieting by itself is oppressive. And once we see that oppressive nature, we're really trying to understand, what can I do to support myself? So how is dieting oppressive? Permission to eat or not to eat comes from outside of you. You are not the one giving yourself permission. The diet is. And taking that back and saying, I get to eat anything I want. And now I want to nourish my body. So what could I eat that would nourish my body? That's really that huge shift that's happening. But it takes a while to get there. It's not instantaneously. And for those that work with me at Nourish, you know that when we give ourselves permission, that is you taking back your agency and autonomy. Agency, I'm bright and able. Autonomy, I have choice. How is this taking back our agency and autonomy, Meagrit? I don't quite get it. Well, if the diet is always telling you what to do, that's saying that you don't know. And that's a false belief. You do know. You may not be perfect, and that's 100% okay. No one's perfect. But you know. You know what you need. If you pause, when we pause, We can start figuring it out. And do we have to be perfect? No, we don't. There's no such thing as a perfect diet. There's no such thing as a perfect person. And what are your choices? So many times, because dieting has always taken away food, so many times we keep thinking the choice is to remove instead of add. And that's hard. And when we think about adding, we're like, well, what would I add? Things that make you feel balanced, things that balance out the meal, things that offer your body balance. And joy is part of balance. So the roadmap is what we're going to be talking about in September, and I'm excited to have dialogue around that. Actually really create that community. And in November and October, we're going to be talking about time, because I know that the fall, it just gets really busy when we kind of get past Thanksgiving and into December. It's just a blur. I will be participating with you in December and January, but like many of us, I am at a half capacity just because there's a lot going on in my life and I'm sure in yours. The same features will be here. It's just, again, I'm not on Substack quite as much as I usually am. But for community members, I'm here for you. And that's really what's important. You're my group. So for everyone else who's just a free member, I'm really not available. But for you, I'm here. Reach out, introduce yourself. We have weekly chats, and those are there to kind of, again, stimulate conversation. You can always message me directly. I'm here to support you. That's what No Weight Loss Required is all about. Not about policing, about supporting. Thank you, everyone. I hope you guys have a great Sunday. Enjoy your coffee or tea or whatever you're drinking.